Welcome back to New Rockstars. The Mandalorian Season 2 opened with the shocking return of, well, a character whose return was widely reported last May, a character Lucasfilm confirmed was still alive in a 2006 visual dictionary, and a character who called himself indigestible by the Sarlacc in a 1992 novel. Boba Fett. Is our headcanon wet dream resurrection gonna fight Mando to the death, or become a spirit guide with the best war stories? Well, I'm Erik Voss. This is Rogue Theory, the show that brings you the wildest nerdy hot takes on the topics that you cannot stop talking about. Remember the 5th of November to all of our UK watchers, because this is November 5th, though we are currently shooting this 1 hour before the polls close on Election Day here in the United States. Here with me today is the Cobb Vanth of Rochester, New York, Tommy Bechtold.
Well, hey there, Mandalorian. Yes, good to be here. Very excited. I would say the most shocking return to me in Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 1 was my little brother, who showed no interest in Star Wars for like 25 years, announced to me that he was watching the show. So welcome back, Rob. Welcome back to the Star Wars universe, buddy. We missed you.
Yeah, we did. Also with us is friend of the show, Twitch streamer and host, Angelica Trae.
Hi. It's good to be back. I hope everyone's good.
Yes, we're good. For now, we're good. But also joining us, we're thrilled to welcome to Rogue Theory, a host I recently shared a Rooster Teeth gaming panel with, who thankfully did not point out how little about gaming that I know, editor-in-chief of Geeks of Color, Dorian Parks. Welcome to New Rockstars, man.
Thank you guys so much for having me. Watch you guys all the time, so it means a lot for you to just invite me on your show. This is awesome, man.
Definitely. This is going to be a lot of fun. I love this lineup. This is going to be a fun panel. Oh, and before we begin, you may have noticed that I am once again wearing my new favorite shirt, our custom This Is The Way tee, available at New Rockstar's new merch store at newrockstarsmerch.com. We got a ton of great designs, including there's a Hi, I'm Erik Voss shirt. If you want to walk around with my name on you, it's some people are buying it. You might like it. If you want to get the This Is a Way shirt, though, for a few bucks more, you can write in a custom shout out that we will feature in Friday's episodes of WikiLeaks. And we're selling out of those quickly, so you're going to want to jump on it. newrockstarsmerch.com. That out of the way, let's talk Boba, folks. In the final seconds of the Mandalorian season premiere, Boba Fett watched Mando and Baby Yoda carefully as they sped past the Tatooine binary sunset, and they were carrying his old green armor. What should we make of his expression? Are Boba Fett and Mando doomed to fight to the death, or is there a way they can help each other this season? I want to hear your theories. Tommy, why don't you go first?
Yes. Well, times are tough. We are certainly at a very stressful time in our nation, and people want peace. People want brotherhood and human beings to come together. And unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen on The Mandalorian.
Oh, no?
I think this is a death match. I think this is a fight to the death between two scrappy boys that both like to wear helmets. One has lost his helmet, and the other one now has that man's helmet. Here's what I think how this is going to go down. Work with me here. Follow me on this pathway. This is the way, as I like to say. So Boba Fett has somehow found out that his father, Jango Fett, actually was a legitimate Mandalorian. Like, rather than a banned or disgraced for not being a true Mandalorian. And that leads to Boba Fett kind of becoming fanatical about the Mandalorian ways. Now, he himself is a clone, so he's kind of like a little slice of cheddar cheese off the bigger block, the Mandalorian block, if you will. So he's kind of like not cool even with himself wearing the armor. That's why he sold his armor to the Jawas. He's a bit of a purist in a disturbing way, I would say. So that's going to lead to him having a real problem with Din Djarin, the Mandalorian, who is a foundling, a self-proclaimed foundling. And there's nothing wrong with being a foundling. I've got a lot of foundlings in my life. I find friends everywhere. But I think that's going to be a big problem with Boba Fett. I think Boba Fett is going to try and get both his armor and our Mandalorian that we're following in the show's armor back through a fight. I think he's going to be stalking him through the galaxy. The child will be there, Baby Yoda. He'll be there to make things float and distract us. But the real conflict is going to be between these two kind of people with ties to the Mandalorian, people that are a little more gray than a direct descendants from Mandalorian ancestors. So that's my theory.
Interesting theory, Tommy. And yeah, you are presenting the idea that I think we all deep down want to see. We want to see these two fight. We want to see the galaxy's greatest bounty hunters take each other down. And I know a lot of people, when the Mandalorian was first announced, I think a lot of people were like, oh, so this is a Boba Fett show? Like they weren't totally clear. That's how like synonymous Mandalorian armor was with Boba Fett back in those days. And so it'd be cool to see it.
It's like I say, Eric, if you've got two action figures, you've got two choices. You make them fight or you make them kiss. And I would take either one. I will take both of them kissing or both of them fighting. But one or the other, it's got to happen. Or both could happen.
Yeah, I was like, why is this mutually exclusive?
You're right. They can fight and kiss. Kiss fighting is my favorite thing to do. It's really, it's dangerous. It's frowned upon. Certainly frowned upon.
That sounds really dangerous, actually.
Yeah, there's some lines that are getting crossed there one way or another.
Yes.
Yeah, I definitely want to see them fight. I want to see Boba Mando face off. I'm hoping sooner rather than later. I want to see it in this next upcoming episode of The Mandalorian. I think Boba Fett is now going to be hunting bounty hunters. I think Boba Fett took Fennec Shand hostage and is not going to like Mando, and there's going to be a face-off, there's going to be a fight in this next episode. And as we saw from the end of this first episode of season 2, Boba Fett, I don't think he like had his armor taken away from him. I think he willingly gave it away, and it's like this symbolism for him changing his lifestyle and his ideologies and his goals. And now he's going to be ridding the entire galaxy of bounty hunters.
Interesting. Too many bounty hunters kind of thing.
Like that.
Yeah, he's hunting the hunters. Like, how cool is that?
I always love that phrase, like the hunter is now being hunted kind of thing. If that can just be worked in there some way. Yeah,
there's a movie trope, right? Like when they finally see the scary monster, and then the thing that actually eats the scary monster, it's like that next level. That is Boba Fett.
Yeah, and I think if anybody could hunt down Mando, it would be Boba Fett. Like if that's kind of the conflict there, I think that's interesting. You bring up a good point that would be that Boba Fett would have to voluntarily give up his armor. I don't think it was stolen from him. And to Tommy's point earlier, I don't know if he would sell the armor to the Jawas, because if you are precious about other people wearing it, you don't pawn it. You maybe throw it into a river and then someone else pulls it up. There aren't any rivers on Tatooine. Maybe you throw it away, you bury it in the Dune Sea. Maybe the same spot where Rey will later bury a lightsaber. Who knows? If we're still pretending that's that happened, but I'm rambling a lot here. But I do think that would be interesting if that's his prerogative. I don't want Boba Fett to be a passive character who is just sought after. I want him to be on the offensive, and if he was indeed the one who picked up Fennec Shand at the end of episode 5 last season, that would be part of his MO, right? Like, I'm tired of these freaking bounty hunters everywhere. Let's stop treating people like prizes to be bountied. But yeah. Dorian, what do you think? What do you think is going to be the deal with Mando and Boba Fett?
So I personally think they're going to actually team up. Although I do see them fighting early on, I could just ultimately see them teaming up and being like, you know what? Let's put our differences aside. We got to take down Moff Gideon. And so it's like them two have a little altercation early on, and they're like, no, we're not the best. Like we're on the same team right now, and especially because he does have some familiarities with the Mandalore. I feel like they'll have more in common versus being like, like we need to fight each other. So I feel like it's more them teaming up. And then I also, because he is a clone, I feel like he'll have a little bit of connection, because it's going to go to my theory for the next topic. I feel like he'll have a little bit of relationship with Baby Yoda, because I think Baby Yoda's a clone. So he'll have some connection with that, and he'll be like, hey, all right, I see myself in him. Let me get on this journey with them, and let me help them find where they need to go with the Jedi. So I kind of think that might happen, but I do like them. I do like what you said, Angelica. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, I think you bring up a good point. I think at the end of the day, they do have more to gain from working together. And I think the biggest point, the counterpoint I would give against like people who say they're definitely going to fight or that Mando would want his armor back is the fact that like the armor was just sitting right over there in Mos Pelgo for years, right? Like at any point, Boba Fett could have just gone over there and taken his armor back. He clearly doesn't want it anymore. He clearly is like okay with taking on a new chapter. And if he is, as we kind of talked about in other videos, maybe living with the Tusken Raiders, like that kind of, there is a parallelism there there, right? With Mando, they're both kind of people who just adopted the identity of the new tribe, the new clan they're with. So
listen, I feel like you get eaten by a Sarlacc, that changes your whole perspective on life. You're like, you got to take a step back and reevaluate every decision you made. And you're like, you know what? Maybe I need let me just take it. Let me just I made some choices. Let me just throw away this. Let me start fresh. Let me start over. So I feel like that's how he's approaching it right now. He's like, I survived this. He saw spiritual space Jesus, and he's like, it's time for a change, man.
Yeah.
That just reminded me of one of those like scenes of maybe like the next episode of Mandalorian. They'll just like snap to Boba Fett's experience. It'll be like a record scratch of him falling into the Sarlacc pit and being like, you may be wondering how I got here.
Yeah, I love that. Yes. If my last path led me to that, clearly I was doing something wrong. And, let's turn the page. Yeah, great. So for this first round, for those three theories, all interesting takes, and all takes that I think could end up being true. I don't think any of those are necessarily mutually exclusive because years have passed. Who knows what he's been doing these past couple of years? So I'm each gonna.
We're all getting a fight, right?
Yeah,
we'll ask for a fight.
There better be a fight. I mean, every fight can lend that. No better way to form a friendship than to take a swing at someone and they take a swing
Eric,
back
that's
at you.
like me and you. The first time we met, we got in a fist fight.
A kiss
and then we
fight.
did an improv show.
Right.
We got in a kiss fight.
Yeah, that is what happened. All right, so all three of you, I'm going to award each of you 1 point. So all of you are on the board, nice. And then we'll see who's at the high score at the end of the game. But before we continue, we want to thank some friends who helped us make this episode, starting with our friends at HelloFresh. HelloFresh lets you skip those trips to the grocery store and makes home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. HelloFresh offers convenient, no-contact delivery to your doorstep for easy home cooking with the family that can be up to 40% cheaper than shopping at the grocery store. HelloFresh offers more than 20 chef-crafted delicious options every week to help you break out of your recipe rut, try new things, and make every night feel special, even if the only thing you'll be doing after dinner is binging The West Wing or Firefly for the 100th time. On top of being delicious and convenient, HelloFresh is the first global carbon-neutral meal kit company, and their packaging is almost entirely made from recyclable or already recycled content. Recycled content like we do by putting Avengers Endgame in the title of every video. In my recent HelloFresh delivery, I got to try firecracker meatballs. As a Florida boy who has ingested several actual firecrackers in my life, I can say that these meatballs tasted like tasty gingery beef and not like burning. So give it a try. You're going to love it. Go to HelloFresh.com/Rogue90 and use the code Rogue90 to get $90 off, including free shipping. Again, that's HelloFresh.com/Rogue90 and use the code Rogue90 to get $90 off, including free shipping. And after you've had your HelloFresh meal, where are you going to sleep that night? Because you're going to need some rest. Well, we also want to thank our friends at Helix Sleep for helping us make this episode. I'm a unique weirdo, and I need a unique mattress to fit my weird body and my weird sleep habits, and so do you, even if you're not weird. Well, thanks to our sponsor, Helix Sleep, we can finally have a mattress that does that. Helix Sleep makes personalized mattresses shipped straight to your door with free, no-contact delivery, free returns, and a 100-night sleep trial. Helix made a 2-minute sleep quiz that matches your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress. Just go to helixsleep.com/roguetheory, take their sleep quiz. They'll match you to a customized mattress that will give you the best sleep of your life. Maybe you like a firm mattress, maybe you're a back sleeper, maybe you sleep really hot. Well, with Helix, there's a specific mattress for your unique taste. I took the quiz. I was matched to the Helix mattress that suited my side sleeping preferences to a T, because when I sleep, I want to make sure I'm turned away from Tommy, who will not leave my bedroom.
It's so comfortable, Eric. I took the quiz too, and my answers were all, what's Eric like? I just want that. I want whatever Eric has.
I'll have what he's having. Yes. Yeah. That's the last time
I'm on the road, I travel with a pillow that's exactly your height.
Height?
A body pillow. Yeah, it's an Eric-sized pillow, and I sleep with it.
Okay.
In the very literal sense, I sleep next to it, not, like a dog.
No, we know what you're doing with it. Yeah. Helix was awarded the #1 best overall mattress pick of 2020 by GQ, Wired Magazine, and Apartment Therapy. They have a 10-year warranty, and you get to try it out for 100 nights risk-free. They'll even pick it up for you if you don't love it, but you are going to love it. Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com/Rogue Theory. Again, that's helixsleep.com/Rogue Theory for up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows. And finally, we want to thank ExpressVPN for sponsoring this episode. ExpressVPN lets you change your online location so that you can control where you want sites to think you're located. You're gonna trick them. You're gonna fool all those internet sites, and they're never gonna know where you are because they shouldn't. It's not their business where you are. Like, let's say you have Netflix, but you don't want to shell out the money for some of these other streaming services just to be able to watch shows and movies that aren't available on the US Netflix because they offer different, versions of content depending on where you are, which is BS. That doesn't make any sense. Rick and Morty, Star Trek Discovery, Studio Ghibli films, it's different where you are. While ExpressVPN cuts straight through that. It lets you log into Netflix as if you're in one of the countries where that content is available without paying for another streaming service. You just open the app, you select from almost 100 different countries, you tap one button to connect and refresh a page to access thousands of new shows and movies. You can stream in HD with no buffering or lag, and it's compatible with all your devices like phones, tablets, smart TVs, whatever you got. Not only does it let you change your location, it also encrypts your data, and it lets you surf the web safely and anonymously. Just go to expressvpn.com/rogue to get an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN for free. expressvpn.com/rogue. And before we move on to our second topic, a quick shout out to our patron Rich Powers, who won this week's Discord Rogue Theory. We have a contest for our patron-only Discord server. Their pitch for how Boba Fett survived the Sarlacc pit featured some flamethrower action and eating some rotten Sarlacc meat. Yum. That's way more exciting than me just saying he got burped up. I think that was my theory. That people were like, really? That's the most exciting thing you come up with? I'm like, well, yeah. I mean, stomach acid's a real thing. Okay. But yeah, Rich had some really, really cool thoughts. And you can play along in future Rogue Theory episodes by becoming a patron just by going to patreon.com/New Rockstars, and you can join our Discord from there. All right, guys, let's get back to The Mandalorian. In the season 2 premiere, there was this line that Tani and I found very interesting. We were talking about this in WikiLeaks. Pelimoto told Mando about Baby Yoda, quote, "If this thing ever divides or buds, I would gladly pay for its offspring." And it was such a weird moment because, like, her line was almost cut off by the pit droid screwing around with the ship. And it was one of those things where, like, they intentionally wrote that line and they wanted you to kind of forget about it for a second by having this, like, stupid gag in the background. But it's also one of those things that is going to be in the previously on of some future episode. I just know it. So yeah. I want to hear from you guys about this. What secrets about Baby Yoda's biology and its origin do you think this line could be setting up for a later episode this season? Dorian, what are your thoughts on this?
See, I could be reading into this a little bit too much, but I personally think Baby Yoda is a clone. He was cloned at the Kamino facilities. And the reason why I think that is because I think it was a little bit foreshadowing. You don't give us Boba Fett in the same episode. You mentioned that little line.
Yeah.
Like, I think it all is going to tie together by the end of the season. It's like I said, I feel like Boba Fett's going to meet the Mandalore, meet Jen. They're going to meet each other. Then he's going to be like, oh, wait. That's a Yoda. I don't think my boy Yoda was getting it in. I don't think my boy was out there having some fun, having a wild time. So I personally think he was cloned. I mean, I don't think he was out there doing what he needs to do in space. So for me, I think he's a clone. I do not see him having like offsprings or having like little Baby Yoda sisters or anything like that. And especially because Disney has also put too much money, too much focus on marketing this one Baby Yoda. I couldn't see them trying to get us emotionally attached to another little creature. Like, there's not enough room in my heart for more Baby Yodas at this point in time.
Yeah.
I have so much room in my heart for more.
No, I can only get. I can't get emotionally attached to more than one. Like, this Baby Yoda's it. There's too many baby things. You got Baby Groot, Baby Yoda, too many.
Yeah, I totally agree. We're gonna start getting like multiplicity, copy of a copy, and then you're just gonna get problematic Michael Keaton at the end of it, and no one wants that. But no, I totally agree, and I the only line that is driving me nuts is from season 1 where Kuiil was like, oh, he doesn't look genetically engineered. It's like, well, then why are you giving us a ton of other clues that cloning? I feel like there's going to be some kind of like interesting explanation. And the only thing that I could see making sense there is maybe if you look at the timeline, since Baby Yoda's 50 years old, like maybe Baby Yoda could have been like the first clone or something like that, right? Like he was clone prime or like patient 0. The clone, and then but was able to get away, but they were able to like the Kaminoans were able to figure out that technology and do it on Jango Fett, and that's how you got all the clone troopers and stuff. But he's got to be a clone. That's my gut feeling too. Is like he's either going to be a clone or Kamino's involved with this somehow. Like one of those options. All right, Angelica, what do you think?
Okay, so I think that the Yoda species isn't born, so to speak, but rather it's like manifested from midichlorian rich swamps. Because we see, we're so used to associating Yoda with like Dagobah and like swamplands. What if we have them like hatch from eggs from these swamps? One, not only because I really want to see Baby Yoda hatch from an egg, like I want to see just that imagery in my head. It makes me happy. But also, I think it makes a lot of sense, and that would connect everything with the Yoda species and how they are so connected with this, the Force, like this telekinesis that they've described throughout the Mandalorian. And also that would explain why it's so precious, because probably these swamps have gotten destroyed by war or like imperial expansion. Yeah, so it makes them even more precious and more of a commodity, and that explains this entire like goose chase.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because I think what you're kind of hinting at here is no one wants to see 2 adult Yodas f***ing.
No.
No one wants that. We don't want that mental image. I apologize for giving you that mental image. Like,
I don't want to see it.
If they are
nightmare fuel, yeah.
So hopefully they are just like, it's some kind of natural phenomena that, there's just some egg that floats up to the surface of a swamp. We're all good with it, and then when they die, they die. They don't reproduce. And maybe that's what they're setting up is like, he's not going to have an offspring or a bud. This Baby Yoda's just going to fade away someday, and then there will be some other that comes up in a swamp somewhere.
And that's like that foreshadowing message that you mentioned, I think they said, what was the next line? I don't think this thing is genetically engineered. They said it's too ugly. So probably a little swamp creature.
Possible. Very possible. And I don't think Dagobah is going to be Yoda's home planet. I think a lot of people would be disappointed. They're like, wait, that was just like where he was taking refuge. Why would he go to his home planet?
Okay,
but
that's fair.
if the geography and the topography matches his home planet, it would make sense for Yoda to want to go to some place that had like a similar terrain to what he grew up in, because he'd be most comfortable with that. And Yoda seemed super comfortable on Dagobah when Luke found him. So I could definitely see a swamp being an origin. All right, Tommy, it's your turn. What do you think is happening here?
Well, I have to divert from my friends here because I personally think not only are Yodas born via beautiful intercourse, I think that they are natural childbirths with no what do they call epidurals or anything like that. It's a very painful birth with these ears because people don't know, they are bone rigid on either side. So that's like a checkerboard coming out. But I think that the reason that Yoda is so mysterious is because just like I said on the first episode or second episode of WikiLeaks, what's better than one Yoda? Eric, it's twins. It's twins.
Twins.
There is another. I call this one Baby Yoda, and I call this one Baby Hell No, because it looks like we ordered this one on Wish. This one looks correct. This one looks like it came from somewhere far, far away, a galaxy even. I believe Baby Yoda is part of a dyad in the Force, and this is why he has the power to heal, much like Rey has the power to heal, using a Force dyad from his sibling, a Yaddle, a baby Yaddle, if you will. Baby Yoda, baby Yaddle. There will always be 2 Yodas. Star Wars is obsessed with things coming in twos, right?
That's right. Always two.
We have the Skywalker twins. We have Master and Apprentice in the Sith. We have 2 droids that are basically the through line of the entire saga, are those 2 droids that we kind of follow along. Why not have 2 adorable Baby Yodas? That's what I'm saying. Isn't it it's twice as nice with this sugar and spice?
Yeah, I'm all for more Baby Yodas. Like
Yes.
I just want a bunch of Baby Yodas around me. I just want to you know, like all those people with the puppies. I want that Baby Yodas.
Right. And I just want to go back and reiterate, these were conceived through consensual, beautiful intercourse. There was no doubt in my mind. Anyway, I rest. The defense rests.
We are just running across those lines. There are no more lines.
I liked half of that.
Yeah, it just got weird at the end.
It did? Sorry. We can just cut that out.
We are keeping it in the episode. It is written in stone at this point.
All right, fine.
Because it's evidence, I think, now. I think it's evidence.
Not even the top 10 worst thing I've said on this channel this week, so it doesn't faze me.
What I do love about, Dyad of the Force, that is bringing in a Rise of Skywalker edition.
Yes.
That's interesting. But, there is some truth to it, right? Force healing is a new thing in the Star Wars universe that came up in just like episode 7 of The Mandalorian, and then it came up in The Rise of Skywalker. And then I think recently in a book, one of the Star Wars books, it was established that the reason why they were able to Force heal is because they were a dyad. So logically, that would mean that Baby Yoda would be part of a dyad too. So
there's got to be another out there, and why not a Baby Yoda?
Yeah.
I could see them being a dyad, but at the same time, like if you're a person that doesn't read the books or something, like I've seen Rise of Skywalker, but I'm like, what is a dyad? Like somebody tell me what a Force dyad is.
Oh, it's a dyad.
It's another opportunity for them to record scratch, just like they did in Angelica's idea, and be like, just so you're clear, a dyad is a unit of 2 opposing forces that create one complete power.
And they have a little footnote at the bottom.
Yeah.
See, and if you're like the and I feel like the Mandalorian does a good job of like if you're just a casual fan, like you don't need to like have your like stuff explained or talk to you. So I don't know, man.
I totally agree, Dorian. I think currently what the Mandalorian's doing really well is like, it's steering clear. It's just kind of telling its own Western tale that every once in a while reaches back, and bringing in Dyad of the Force and the Mandalorian. A lot of people will be like, I thought we were done with that movie. So here's what we're gonna do. I do like all theories. Tommy, I'm gonna give you 1 point for your theory, but I love
We're number 1.
I love swamp babies. So Angelica, you're getting 2, and then clone is where my heart is going right now. So Dorian, you're getting 2.
Whoa!
Let's go.
Wow, a real indictment of sex positive Baby Yodas, I gotta say.
Babies.
Strong. They're 50. They're 50. It's time.
It got really graphic there for a second.
You don't even realize how much I held back on how graphic I wanted to be. That's what makes this awful. I had schematics, I had drawings. I have 3D models. I've spent hours on this, days.
It went from Disney Plus to Disney X Plus.
Yeah. Okay, so it now comes the time for our rogue question, and you know what? I don't want anyone to hold back. It is New Rockstars After Dark at this point, and in honor. So here's the deal: we got 1 rogue question. You're each going to answer it. Anybody can go first. Here is the question: in honor of the passing of the iconic actor Sean Connery, may he rest in peace, the first Bond actor to deliver that shaken not stirred catchphrase, I would like each of you to please deliver your overly specific drink order in the style of Bond's martini order.
I probably get, just because I rewatched The Big Lebowski recently, so I probably get a White Russian, tell her to pour 2 ounces of vodka slowly, so make a big scene about it. Then once we get to the Kahlua, I'll just be like, hold it, pause. All right, now go. Then pause. Now go. Pour the Kahlua. Make it like 10 seconds worth. And then as she adds a splash of cream, I ask them to bring out a firecracker. Just make a real spectacle out of it. As she does that, she pours the heavy splash of cream. The firecracker goes off, and I say, shaken, not stirred, and then I drink.
Wow,
Yes.
cinematic.
Very nice.
Cinematic as hell.
Bartender. I would like 1 of those pina colada drinks with all the, the coconut flavored ones with the tiny pieces of fruit in there, and also a little umbrella on top, shaken, not stirred.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know what to do with my face.
No,
that's good. That was
perfect.
Right.
Nailed it.
I think I was
Nailed it.
winking the whole time.
Okay, mine would be, hello there! This is a very crowded bar. My name is Sean. I'm also a bartender. Can I have a rum and coke? Is Mike working tonight? Mike's a friend of mine. He usually doesn't charge me, and he gives me a little extra liquor. It's okay if Mike's not working. No worries, brother. Yes, but yeah, could you pour a little more rum in that for me? Yes, and a little less coke, a little more. Have you seen The Mandalorian? Do you think that Yoda was born by intercourse, or do you think he was a clone? I think it was definitely Yoda on Yoda intercourse. Shaken, not stirred.
All of that shaken, not stirred. I think we are shaken after that impression, Tommy. Well done. So, Tommy, I'm going to give you the point here, but that makes all three of you tie winners today. We don't do tiebreakers here, because and here everyone can be a winner. We don't believe in winners and losers here at New Rockstars. So, well done to all three of you. That is it for this episode of Rogue Theory. Thank you so much to our guests, Dorian Parks, Angelica Trae, Tommy Bechtold. You guys were all fantastic this week. We learned a lot about The Mandalorian. We're so excited to catch the next episode coming, well, later tonight. And then Tommy and I will be on the channel tomorrow to break it down with WikiLeaks, with my Easter egg breakdown coming out the next day. Follow all three of these wonderful people on their respective social medias. They're all working on amazing stuff that you're going to want to check out. Don't forget to subscribe to the Rogue Theory podcast feed. Stay tuned to this YouTube channel for this and other shows. Follow us on Twitter at New Rockstars. Follow me at EA Voss. See you next time. And now let's go see if we still have a country.